Welcome to another exciting edition of the MUTcast. I'm your host, S. Gibbs. Alongside me, the greatest panel of all time. We got Zfarls, we got Mr. MUT Guru, we got the man, the myth, the legend, RG, and then in the background, floating around back there, you might see a guy that you recognize. That's eSports AJ.
AJ back in the house.
Yeah, eSports AJ in the house.
We got the same hoodie, Gibbs.
We have the same hoodie. Yours might be from Vineyard Vines. Mine, on the other hand, is from Old Navy. Okay, so practical fella.
Cold here in the office.
Not a performance
today.
fleece.
Not a performance fleece, no.
Yeah, what is it down to 60 degrees?
It's Florida. Like, are we just wimps?
70 degrees.
It's
not
kind
used to this
of
weather.
wimps.
We're all long sleeved up besides Zfarls.
No, I wore like a full polo uniform because I heard it was 40 degrees and that I've been sweating, so I had to take it all off.
Now you're wearing the smallest football jersey I've ever seen in my life.
Remember what they say:
I almost
don't be a
spit my coffee
butthead,
out.
go to Mudhead.
It is a Mudhead. It's a
there you
Mudhead
go.
jersey, so that's
out
awesome.
to
But it's
Mudhead.
kind of small. But it looks good on you.
Somebody gave it to me and I said, "This is really small. Is this for my child?"
You have a child?
No, that's the
No,
best
it's-
part.
it's a
Well, he's
sign.
been lifting.
And then
so.
they're like, "Just try and put it on." So I put it on. I'm like, "It kind of fits."
All right.
Farrell showing off the
Jeremy
guns.
Farrell's.
Yeah, I mean, the chat appreciates it.
So, guys, get the chat started. Come on.
Look at-
let's
I mean, really-
settle
I mean,
down.
that's
So,
the way we
before
start
we
the
get
show.
started, guys, we would like to
5
thanks
seconds.
everyone for watching the show. Again, if you haven't already followed our Twitch channel, go ahead, click the little heart on the bottom part of the screen. We got double screens here. Is that true? We'll just switch over there. How about that? Follow the channel if you're not. If you're on watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button on the bottom part of the channel. We appreciate you guys tuning in and watching every week. This week we're going to be talking about the Team of the Week new items this week with the Hero Marshall and the limited time Marshall and the Hero Pat Pete. We got legends to talk about. We got Marshall Faulk,
I got a
Rob
lot of
Woodson.
questions for RG. So on the MUTcast, we obviously go over all the new players. We figure out if the ratings are worth it. We take your questions. I've got questions though for RG. He's a gameplay expert, and he knows all the intricacies. He's a MUT expert, so he knows all the ratings, all the costs, all the everything. Gibbs does something here. I'm not really good for anything except asking questions that I'm not supposed to ask, and I'm going to do that today.
That's I
Asking the hard
have
questions.
this sick shirt right here. Truck stick. Is that not sick?
That is pretty dope.
It's pretty
That's
good.
a rare.
Straight up.
That's a
It's
rare
truck
edition.
stick.
Rare bird.
Truck
Rare
stick.
bird.
So we should get this thing started. First and foremost, we're going to talk about Rod Woodson. Oh, before we get started, we got Matt Marcou coming down.
Oh, the
We got
man.
Matt Marcou. I forgot
The
to talk
myth.
about that. We got
The
Matt
Marcou.
Marcou coming down
eSports expert.
to talk about the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge. So, guys, get any questions, get that queued up in the chat. We'll hopefully maybe he can do some rapid fire if we have some time. But let's get back into it. We have our first item to talk about this week. He was a legend this past weekend.
Beast.
96th overall cornerback, Rod Woodson. So right now from Mutthead, we have him going for $1.5 million on Xbox One, $2.5 million on PS4. His key ratings: 95 speed, 97 man coverage, 92 zone coverage, 93 press, and something I think might be underrated here: 88 spectacular catch. What do you guys think of that?
This guy's a beast, man. This guy's a beast. He immediately went into my number 2 slot. And I'm telling you what, the combination of the strength, all his ratings, his speed, his size are gonna really. I don't know if he's one of those you're gonna want to go out and get, but right now he is saucy. He's up there in cost. There's a lot of cornerbacks out there, so might want to be one of those guys you wait on, but he's gonna do it all for you if you do decide to make the investment.
Charles?
Rod Woodson, been utilizing him this weekend for a review. He has the free safety edition. He gets a lot of improvements. 95 speed mixed with the 97 man and the press. Very, very few of those in the game. But for the cost, no, because you can still get the speed in man at this time. You don't get the press with it in a lot of players. But the new Pat Pete, we'll talk about him later. I think he's going to give you a better blend, maybe for less. We got to look at the cost. But he's made a few plays. He's also missed a couple. So he's still under
wow.
review.
How many
for me.
verbal warnings have you
okay.
given him?
2 verbal warnings. His first play of the game, I swear, Terrell Davis,
Yeah.
the legend killer.
Is that what you call him?
He's already trucked Brian
Love it.
Dawkins.
Oh.
He trucked Rod Woodson on his first series. He did get a pick for me, but the jury's still out for me on the Woodson.
Still under review.
What's his hip power? The cornerback version.
Okay, I can do a quick number crunch for you
He's
here.
got some.
Still a little
Hip
pop in
power
his
check
bat.
on aisle 5.
Let's see. Rod Woodson. Let's see. RG's going to review some of his stats gameplay-wise here. He's got 77 hit power and 70 tackle. This, again, is the 96 overall cornerback legend, Rod Woodson. So, RG, you see that 77 hit power, 70 tackle to go along with those key stats you see there. Is this a guy that you can suit up with?
Yeah, no, for real. He's nasty, especially, the reason I ask about his hit power is one thing a lot of people do to stop those, like, compressed set, like I-twin, tight end, strong close, tosses, is you base a line. And when you base a line, you got your corner out there on an island, and sometimes he gets off his block and he can make a play. So for him to be able to, have that chance to lay the wood on the outside when you run at him. But to me, the biggest stat on that item is the 95 speed. It seems like every time I play a game, somebody has that Amari Cooper item.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
91, is it just for
like
the
a
play?
90,
it's
he's like
Team of the
Journey Solo 2.
Journey Solo.
Journey 2 Solo.
It's like a 91 overall with 95 speed, and I
Nasty.
actually took like an L for the first time in a while playing against him. Whoever did that to me, shout out to you. You played a really good game. I played a bad game, and he just like kept beating me with his post route over the top. It was that PA shot with the the wheel and then the post. And
Do I know about that?
I believe I had like on-trail roll or somebody out there on him, and that Cooper just kept burning me over the top because I was dropping my safety in a buzz zone to kind of take away the corner, and I was just telling myself, I'm like, man, I need a faster corner. Roll was cool, but I need someone to keep up with guys like Cooper, and boom, you come out with that Woodson. I kind of need to get my hands on him somehow.
We might know a guy. I don't know. So yeah. Anyways, one thing I think that might stand out for me, and I'm testing this right now, is the 88 spectacular catch.
Yep.
This is really high for a corner, I would say, and I think as the year goes on, we're going to see guys go up a little bit more. But I want to talk now about the price. We know that the ratings. Yes, he's a stud, and he's probably one of the best corners in the game. But when we look at the price right now, 1.5 million on Xbox, 2.5 million on PS4. Do we think we tell guys, wait on this, he could go down, or is he going to go up? Like
what I'm going to say is,
I never
auction
know.
house me.
I never
Auction
know.
house me.
I'm going to tell you, go get a Dick Lane. That's
Okay.
what I'm going to go tell you with that amount of coins. He's going to obviously come down here as we release. There's a lot of cornerbacks out there. He's the new hotness, so his price is going to be up there, of course, for probably 2-3 weeks about this same price. But if you're a Steelers fan, if you're a Woodson fan, if he's somebody for your all Steelers team, which you can probably put together a pretty mighty one with the amount of Steelers legends coming out this year, I'm telling you.
17 linebackers.
It's a Browns fan. Not making me too happy, but I'm telling you what. But in the meantime, go get yourself a Dick Lane if you're going to make yourself an investment at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, just 2.5. I just feel like, as good as he is, I still feel like I could get like 3 guys for that price on PS4.
There's an abundance of corners out there.
So many.
Run a couple off for me.
So what you're really paying for in this situation is the man coverage mixed with the press, including the play rec. So Joe Hayden has the play rec. Doesn't quite have
that draft champions. Joe Hayden.
He's got the play rec. Peterson is the only guy that has the press. He's probably going to cost less. Aaron Ross has the press, but not quite the speed, but he has the man coverage. The Lane has the zone coverage, but not the man coverage, but has the same speed and has the play rec. So there's a blend for everybody. It really comes down to, do you want to pay for that press?
You're paying a premium
it's
for...
It's a very high premium, in my opinion.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, okay, this is my opinion on it. We're going to talk about a guy later in the show, Team of the Week guy that just came out, that I would say for almost more than half of this price, you're going to get a guy that is just as good when it comes to these raw ratings. We'll talk about that a little later in the show, who that guy is. Yep. But for $2.5 million, this guy, you can't really go out and get him at this moment in time. I just think he's too high. Yes, he's great, but if I saw 99s across the board, I mean,
that's one thing.
But we're not seeing 99s across the board. He's a great player. How does he compare stack against his other free safety or strong safety, whatever legend, free safety Woodson from early in the year? I wasn't too thrilled with the ratings I saw on the previous Woodson.
Right. Yeah. No.
Looks like he gained 3 speed. He gained 1 zone coverage. He gained 15 man coverage. And then his play rec went up 5. I like to see that play rec that's gone from 87 on the free safety up above 90. That's kind of my threshold. I look for, but the hit power drops, so you lose a little bit of hit power. It's obviously the same height, so he's much more man coverage based this time around.
Yeah, it's tough for Rod to hold up because he was a launch legend. He was pretty close to launch, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of free safeties that have come out since him, and also then Rod's coming out as a cornerback, different position, different stats. So obviously the Rod doesn't stack up the free safety.
All right, stamp of approval time. What is your opinion on this, Rod Woodson? Taking everything into consideration, ratings, price. Do you give your stamp of approval to go get him right now, Zfarls?
Still testing on stream. Currently a no. Did have one great one-on-one pick for me, but other than that, he's missed a few plays. I'm gonna set a price of about $500,000. If you value press, that's when I would go look for the Woodson.
Marcou.
Yeah, I actually misspoke earlier. I have him at number 3, not number 2. So at this time, I think for the community, unless you're balling out, you want the newest item, unless you want a Woodson, unless you want you're a Steelers fan, I think it's hold off. There's some other better options out there for you.
RG?
What is it, like $1 million? How much did you say it is?
He's 1.5 on Xbox, 2.5 on PS4.
Yeah, it seems expensive.
Expensive, but the ratings get you excited.
Yeah, no, the ratings are nasty. Like,
I love that they didn't dog him at any spot.
Right.
He's super balanced across the board. Like he's and the 97 man is just behind Dion, pretty much as the best in the game. So I really like that.
All right, coming up next, guys, we have our next legend from this past weekend. This is the guy named after this week's show, a guy that I'm super excited about because I have played with him.
Yep.
He does live up to the hype. One Marshall Faulk. 96 overall halfback. He's going for 600,000 coins on Xbox One, 575,000 coins roughly on PlayStation 4.
Yep.
Take a look at these stats: 94 speed, 98 agility. His acceleration's up there as well with 96 excel, 98 elusiveness, and a little bit of a sleeper stat that I saw here. I could have put, his 97 juke move as one of my top 5 ratings for him. But where I think Marshall Faulk really comes into play is with this last rating here, 90 catch in traffic. I value that a ton when you throw the halfbacks over the middle of the field. Zfarls, talk to me about Faulk.
Gameplay question, RG. He's got 87 route running, 88 route running, great for option routes. Does 90 catch in traffic for a halfback really matter? I know it's good to have, but is it gonna come into play that often?
yeah, it's insane. I mean, a lot of times, you run that angle route.
Halfback angle, goal line
It's like
halfback angle. It's gonna
Everybody's
matter.
saying sometimes the linebacker or whoever's on him is kind of trailing them, really in the vicinity. I mean, that's in traffic. I mean, that rating's going to increase your catch chance in that situation.
Okay.
Another situation, is like when you run, I think 4 verts is real popular, the halfback's on the out.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times he'll be manned up, and then somebody will also be lurking and run down to kind of take it away. So it becomes like this you're throwing in double coverage. Even though the guy doesn't make a play on it, he's still in that vicinity coming down, which again is traffic. So yeah, no, there's absolutely a lot of situations that you see often that will come into play.
Okay, that's good to know because I always get concerned if I pay for this premium, is it just a fancy stat where the JJ Watt 88 catch, awesome, but then it's how many times am I gonna get a shot to trigger that 88 catch or whatever it is. The route running to me is huge. He's going to have 87. He's matched up against linebackers generally who aren't going to have that man
Not going to have that man coverage. It makes him that much better. But then he's got all the other stats that make him a stud. I mean, 94 carry. I didn't have room to put it up there for the top 5 stats.
Yep.
94 carry. Carry starts becoming a stat that is super important at this time of the year because you start getting more players with hit power. The beginning of the year, you could get by with guys like Drew Archer, and you wouldn't cough it up. But now, Drew Archer's coughing it up. He's almost a liability. Every time I throw him the ball or run the ball with him, I'm I get scared. I get a little bit nervous. He's going to cough it up. Faulk here, across the board, I would say maybe the only area you're a little upset with is maybe his speed. You're I'm paying top dollar almost for him for 600 coins, 575,000 coins on PS4. So you're paying a premium for him, and he doesn't have premium speed. So is that concerning at all, Mike?
I'll tell you what the story of this card is for me. It's that it's third down back. This is where, if you could do a comparison for me real quick to LT, okay? One of those, Damian Tomlinson, people wanted to get their hands on this item super early. Also, still want to go get their hands on it. Want it considered one of the best third down backs in the game, one of the best receiving halfbacks in MUT. The thing is here, he was up close to $1 million the last time I saw. He was pretty pricey. So the thing is, this is a very a pretty comparable item for about half the price the last time I saw it. And he's gonna be that solid catching halfback for you. And the thing is, going back to MUT 13 and that 3-star rookie Faulk has always been one of those super impact receiver type halfbacks coming out of the backfield for you. I've even used him at the slot receiver position. You know, that to utilize that catch in traffic, you can bring him on a mesh or
Gilgamesh.
Bam.
Give me more. Love it.
So you know, when you compare him to some of those other backs that do the similar job, I don't think the price is actually that bad. He's gonna basically replace a LaDainian Tomlinson if you've been looking for a halfback like that.
Yeah, so if you're taking a look now, again, we're using muthead.com to review some of these stats. Shout out to Cody, the man, the myth, the legend over at Muthead. Route running on this Tomlinson you're talking about from the early part of the year, 81. His catch in traffic is 80. So you're getting a +7 boost in route running with 88 for Faulk, plus a 10+ boost in catch in traffic. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer. Like, if you're really a guy that throws to the halfback a ton, this is the guy you get. And that's what makes me so excited, because I personally, with my scheme, I throw the ball to the halfback a ton.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
if you guys at home...
Can't get enough of those 3-yard gains. Loves it.
What's wrong with 3-yard gain? What's wrong with 3-yard gain? You don't like 3-yard gains?
It's awesome.
If I
So
get
good on 4th
Three
and
of them in a
5.
row.
Well, 4th and 5, I'm going to throw a 5-yard gain. Anyways, if you throw to the halfback a ton, this guy has a lot of value. RG, is that something that you're seeing here with this Faulk? Like, would you say he's a runner first or pass first, or would you not really be concerned that he can do it all?
Yeah, he could do it all.
Yeah.
That item's nasty, dude. There's he's 2 speed away from being completely unguardable. In my opinion, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
For real. So
I'm going to rain on everyone's parade.
Wow.
Just for my dudes in the chat, keeping it 100, as they say.
Yep.
After testing the Faulk this weekend, there are some players that rack catch very well, and there's
Yeah.
some players that don't rack catch as well. I don't know what the ratings are. I don't know why it happens. Marshall Faulk on about 20 catches. He's had about 10 racks where he takes that extra step before he cuts right up field.
It's probably a you problem.
For
but-
some reason, the Sharp brother, wide receiver, he racks instantly, turns up field on the table route out of the backfield. So if you like to throw that quick table route out of the backfield, the Sharp, for some reason, just hits it and goes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the way I'm throwing it. I don't know if it's the pass lead or what. But the Faulk, as great as a receiver as he is, and with the 98 agility, you figure, boom, he's a candidate to have the perfect rack catch. Little extra step in there. I'm just saying.
Hey, he's used him.
That's
It's
my
a
review.
legit review.
That's my
That's
one
it.
concern. He has not fumbled. He has been great running the ball. All the stuff you guys said. He gets separation on the option route every time. Perfect for my offense. Great third down back. Great second back if you run 2 back sets to throw the ball. But the rack, only real hesitation I've had. Super meta niche issue. Not even an issue, but just that's my feedback.
So, great recommendation in the chat from Jay Knoll. He says, so with the Madden coach, as your head coach, Madden, in MUT, is he unguardable now? Because you get +2 speed.
do you?
So you're going to get
absolutely.
96
There you go.
speed with
Yeah.
the Faulk, and now Faulk gets
Great
that
point.
speed
You
that
can't
you
stop.
need. So maybe the combo is you go get the Faulk. You don't go get the Woodson. Save the coin, get the Faulk, go get the Coach Madden.
Yep.
And now you turn this guy into the best halfback in the game.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe
call.
Barry Sanders better than him. But
What's the cost on the Reggie? Reggie's carry, super potential issue, but is there a cost issue?
price check, aisle 9.
Mikey Sweats, shout out to Mikey Sweats, swears by this Reggie Bush.
Yo,
He
that
says
dude,
it's one of his
Mikey
best,
Sweats had the illest. What did he say? He referred to an item as an animation warrior. That was the greatest.
I think that's
that was
Le'Veon
filmed-
Bell he was talking
Yeah,
about.
that's
That
very
same-
Le'Veon
good.
has his own
Yeah.
carry
Yeah,
style,
the
and I
warrior.
swear he gets because I've only had the base. That's why I want to try the 95.
No,
It's crazy.
It's so true when he says it. You notice items that are you're damn, he's doing some crazy anims. He's an animation warrior.
It's
so
awesome.
I'm saying it all the
For
time.
sure. So we have our special guest coming in. Well, let's get our final stamp of approvals on this Faulk. Real quick number crunch. I'll check on Reggie Bush. 300,000 coins right now. So
How much is
half the
Barry?
price. Barry, I'm not sure. We'll take a look later. He's probably $1 million.
If you can afford the Barry, go up to the
Stamp of
Barry.
approval?
I know he's not as good. The Faulk is great if you're going to use him in the right role.
Yeah, he's going to go out. I'm going to get him for a situational third down back, slot type receiver situations, but I'm going to definitely have him on my spot.
RG, stamp of approval.
Yeah, especially if you get that.
AJ, pop on in,
Coach
kid.
Madden.
Pop on in, kid.
Would I start Marshall Faulk? Absolutely.
There it is from AJ.
Yeah.
My stamp of approval, I think Marshall Faulk is the second best halfback in the game behind Barry Sanders. If you don't have the coin to get the Barry, you get the Faulk, and he's going to be the second best halfback in the game for you. Transition time, guys. Zfarls. Actually, no. Mike.
I'm gonna
Mike,
take off, guys.
Take a
I'll be
step
right
off.
back. Yep.
Mike, we'll be back. Don't worry. We're bringing in the new man, the myth, the legend. Mike, you forgot your phone. Fell out of your packet. And guys, special guest coming on the MUTcast. We are privileged to have Matt Marcou. Come on in. Come say hello to the people. Say hello to the people.
Oh, hello, people.
Hello, people.
Hello, people.
Guys, this is the Can we call you Commish?
Yeah.
Can we call you Commish?
He's the
Welcome.
commish.
He's the commish.
He's the Commish. Yeah, so basically what we're here to talk about, outside of these Team Elite items, we've been talking a lot about the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge on the
really?
show the past couple of weeks, where we talked a couple weeks ago about problem versus the field, first of all, in the tournament. So that was pretty interesting debate. False.
was
It's like 1 versus 100.
Yeah.
I know we got some questions for you, but this is a question from me. This is what I do. I ask the
Yeah,
tough
go
questions.
for it.
Oh,
What was your first time like seeing problem play? Like, what were your thoughts like when you were watching him play? Did you think like, wow, this guy is? What were your thoughts?
Do you mean at the Invitational or ever? Because I watched
Yeah.
videos of him play.
Like in person, like he just was kind of, like, what did you think? Like after that first tournament, walking away, where you're like,
You know,
or,
there is a different, and again, I kind of knew who he was going into this, so maybe it spoiled a little bit, but there was this different aura about him. There was a certain confidence. There was a certain swag to the way he moved the guys on the field, right? Like, you know, you obviously saw the amazing punt return he had, or his kickoff return. He had a couple other plays. There's just something about his vision in the field that's different, and it's inexplicable to me right now, and probably to a lot of people. But there's something different. There's something special.
He's a special player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's without a doubt. That's why he's right now. Everyone would agree he's the greatest player of all time. He's won the tournaments. He's showing by winning that past invitational that he's still got it. Especially when it comes to Madden 16, he streams quite a bit and wins all those games there. So I'm still saying problem versus the field. I'm taking problem. I mean, it's my guy. That's my guy.
I took the field. I'm getting nervous.
I'm taking the field just because like it's the odds.
That's why I took the field.
know?
All you like hungry up and coming Madden
Don't make
players,
us look stupid.
please,
Yeah.
step up, fight for your bread. I'm counting on you guys, man. I love Problem. That's my homeboy, but I took the field. I need you guys to step up for
Are
me.
there odds? Maybe I'll get in this later.
Yeah.
I mean, look, my message is, he's still a man. He still breathes air.
He's mortal. He's
eats
mortal.
food.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I don't have a favorite. I'm just looking around a fair tournament here, but I'm hoping that his play inspires people to say, like, wow, how can I do that, right? And really get a breakdown of that. Rather than like, oh, he's this, immortal god that'll never be beaten.
Yep.
Like he's been beaten before, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've beat him once or twice before out of 15 games, so that's not bad. 2 for 15, that's pretty good.
So I'm looking for a great tournament
Yeah.
here, and I mean that's down the road here.
Guys, in the chat, let us know your opinion. Do you think that it's problem versus the field? If you think the field's going to win type 1, if you think problem can take the whole tournament down type 2, let us know in the chat. And as Marcou was saying, this is a tournament that you guys can't compete in. This is something that if no one knows who you are, you have an opportunity to let people know who you are.
Usually the
this
best
is your
part
time.
about poker, esports, anything is like you can actually sit at a table or on a console against the legends. Like I tried to play Michael Jordan, he kicked me out of his house. He's like, why are you here? Can't go out and play against Kobe.
Can't block
But
JJ
there's a
Watt.
chance you can get matched up
Can't
against Problem. You can get matched up against Mo. You can play these guys. You can watch them play and kind of pick their brains. Like when Jordan's playing hoops, he's not live streaming it and talking to what he's doing. So it's pretty sweet to actually be able to step in and compete.
All right, guys, so what we have, Matt Marcou here for us. He is our commish. First question, just a general question for the guys that might not know. There's some people that might not know, right? So
I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know.
what is the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge?
Well,
In a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell. So it's our first officially sanctioned tournament of this year. We're running draft champions, so we're going to crown the best draft champions player in the world of this tournament in the Madden Challenge. So bring the Madden Challenge back, yeah.
I love it. So, Zfarls, you competed in past Madden challenges, right?
Did,
Like,
yeah.
what's it like? What's it?
It's intense. It's intense. It's just.
It's intense.
It's got a different
It's
aura.
that intense.
It's just got like a
that
different aura to it. Like you go to these tournaments, you see these players like RG, you got to play your best game, but you're kind of nervous. But you're like, why was I nervous? A week later, but when you're playing, you're like, kind of scared. It's just a tournament, great competitiveness. It's going to make you a better player, and you're also going to meet a lot of cool people in the community that also play in these tournaments. Like right now, people are working out on Draft Champions. They're streaming. Everyone's in the chats. Go in there, start communicating, and people will help you out.
RG, Madden Challenge experience. Back when you used to play, back in the old days, right? 2-minute quarters style Madden Challenge. But what's any advice you give these guys that are coming to play? I know we had an interesting conversation this past weekend, just in general, about like how you used to train for Madden Challenges, and you took it very seriously. And that's probably why you are one of the best players to ever have played the game. So I mean, give the guys in the chat, the people listening at home, any advice for training and preparing for this tournament.
It's pretty much the same principle you have to use in life. Is don't get discouraged about a lot. It's going to be a rough road. You're going to take losses. This is like online, so you're going to disconnect every once in a while. Like, you just can't let stuff discourage you. You really need to just learn from your experiences and make each negative experience, take that and make a positive out of it, and use that to make yourself a better player. So if you lose or you got blown out by somebody, think about why you got blown out. Think about what you could have done to prevent that next time, and just really learning from your mistakes. I mean, I've won Madden Challenge Regionals before, but trust me, I've lost like 100 more tournaments than I've actually won. The key to me being able to win those tournaments was to go back to all my losses, all the sad stories, and then take little bits and pieces to constantly improve myself.
That's invaluable advice right there, guys. And I'm going to echo that same thing right there from RG. So really pay attention to some of those things he said. A key takeaway there. Really enjoy the process. Enjoy playing the games. Enjoy the grind. That's what this is. This month long or however month plus long experience until we get to January 4th for the ladder. Enjoy the experience. Enjoy that grind of playing games, winning games, maybe losing games. What can you learn from those things? So it's an exciting time for the Madden community, and we're happy to again have our special guest, Matt Marcou, the commish.
The commish.
Absolutely.
Only referred the commish. I like it.
The commish.
That's what it is.
The goo.
The goo.
The
yeah.
goo. The commish.
The goons. I don't know. The weirdos and nerds. I don't know. But anyways, so can you talk? I said January 4th there as the final date. Can you explain a little bit of that timeline, what that looks like for people? It started back in November, and now people are playing games.
Yeah.
And can you explain that a little bit to me?
Yeah, so ultimately we're bringing 8 of the best Draft Champions players to San Francisco on Super Bowl week to play out the finals round. How you get there? There's 2 tracks to get there. So you guys have been kind of following. We did a preview of our invitational, but there's 4 slots that are dedicated to invited only players. We want to do that to celebrate our past champions and give them a fast track through the process as we're reinvigorating esports here. But there are 4 open slots that anyone can earn, and you earn that first by starting with the Draft Champions ranked ladder, which is Gibbs saying is ending on January 4th. After we wrap up that ladder, we're going to invite the top 64 players from both platforms, PlayStation, Xbox. They're going to play in an online elimination tournament. And ultimately, there's a couple phases to that, but ultimately at the end of that, we're gonna get 4 players, 4 from Xbox, 4 from PlayStation. They're gonna go to a live event, and 4 of those 8 players will then advance to the championship round. So that's a lot of 4s and 8s.
There's a lot of 4s and 8s, so there's a lot. I mean, there's opportunity here for everybody to be able to compete in this. Really, what you have to do if you want to compete in this tournament is get out and win games, right? That's the moral of the story. Is how do I get on here? How do I get the rankings?
Win games on the ladder, yeah.
Win games.
Yep.
That's the most important thing. If you're not winning games, you're not doing something right. So get out there, start playing games, win games. So
How you win games?
How do you win games?
Play games.
You play games. That's also how you lose games.
Yeah.
Also, the most important part is winning games, Zfarls.
You lose every game you don't play.
That's Michael Scott.
No, it's
That's
Michael Scott quoting Wayne Gretzky, quoting Michael Scott.
Yes. Fact. Great show, by the way.
Great show.
One of the best shows of all time. You think?
It's up there.
All right. So, our next question we have for you, Matt. Talk about a little bit about the prizes we got here for the Madden Challenge. Can you talk a little bit about what we have at stake for the people?
Yeah, the total prize pot, $50,000. Lion's share of that going to first and second place.
Yep.
But if you make it to the live events, you get paid out. Right, so all expenses paid trips anytime you advance a live event.
Yeah, San Francisco Super Bowl week is the end goal,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, that's the end goal.
A sweet trip.
Yeah.
Regardless of win or lose.
Especially if you're a Pats fan, because you know they're going to be there.
And like so, there's a couple preliminary trips to Los Angeles at the ESL studio in Burbank. We're running some of these preliminary rounds, so 8 guys are going to get a chance to win a trip to that. You still get, like I said, anytime you win, you advance to the live final, you get paid out, you get all expenses paid. You get to meet You get to meet your peers, right? Meet your peers, share a great community experience, and hopefully advance and plan for some more money here.
RG, I need to talk to, because you're the only one in here that's ever really played for like a substantial amount of money for when it comes to a Madden tournament. Zfarls and I were never good enough to ever get there, unfortunately, but whatever.
You guys were good enough.
We were good enough, man. Come on, can we
You guys were
really?
good enough.
You think we were good enough?
You guys were good, man.
What happened?
You guys were good on paper.
You got it.
Dang.
Yeah.
You know what? We were a lot like that
lost
Rod
era.
Woodson. You know,
The
good on
lost
paper.
era.
You know what happened to us, man. But anyways, RG, when you're playing for that much cash, I mean, does it change the way you play the game? Like, I need you to give the insight again to the people here. What changes when you're playing for something like that? Everything.
Everything. I mean, how much you're willing to give up. I mean, you want to talk about, getting stingy and counting your pennies. Like, once you're starting to play, every play counts. There's no, let me try this and see if this works, like, type of deal. It's like
That's my favorite thing to say.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like, everything you do is like very calculated. Ideally, if you've prepared for all those situations. You don't see a situation that you're not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we say, like when Prob went for it on like 4th and 7 for the game, it's like if he didn't have a play
Right.
for 4th and 7,
he wouldn't have done it.
he wouldn't have been there, he wouldn't have done it.
That's literally why we say that. Is like, he probably wouldn't be here if he didn't have a play for 4th and 7, right? I mean, you have to have a play for every situation. I would say the one thing for you guys to just pay attention to when you get into these situations that you might feel pressure, leave it all out on the field. Don't have any regrets. And when I say that is, don't play timid. What ends up happening, you get into these big games, and you get a lot of pressure on you. You could start to feel like, I'm going to play conservative. I'm going to run the ball. Stick to your game plan. If you're going to lose and you're going to go out of the tournament, go out playing your game. There's nothing worse than playing Monday morning quarterback on your own game and saying, I didn't run my play. I didn't run my one play.
I think one of the most important things, and I've talked to players about this, like even Problem years ago, we've talked about this, and a lot of the great players I've talked to, one of the most important things, and I'm dead serious, is confidence in yourself. The minute you go into an event or a tournament and you have the thought in your head of like, I'm probably not going to win this thing, guess what? You're probably not going to win the thing. You need to stay confident. You really need to truly believe in yourself that don't focus on if you're going to win or you're going to lose. Just know that you can win and focus on doing everything you can do to win. That's got to be your mindset during those games. You can't think about the, before or after. It's really just keeping your confidence and staying focused with your eyes on the prize. Because as soon as that doubt creeps in, things usually don't work out.
Amen.
And don't overrate your opponent in your head. Matt talked about it a little bit with Problem. Like, don't be like, it's 3rd and 2. I have this play that I've called 10,000 times. It gets me a free flat first down every single time I've called it this year. Game's on the line. I haven't called it yet. It's going to work. Oh, no, but I'm playing Problem. He knows that I'm going to call this flat. So
He's
I can't
mortal.
call that. Now I'm going to call a drag. Oh, no. Like, if you have your play, call your play, lose with your play. Like, don't just assume because you're playing somebody that's good or is better than you or can do this or is ranked higher, like, that they know instantly what you're going to do. I do that all the time. Like, oh, he knows I'm going to throw the corner out.
It's a weird mix of both respecting your opponent but not letting them push you around. Right? It's a really hard balance because you can't be overconfident. You have to hit the right like kind of alpha zone, right? You need to be appropriately confident, have enough respect for your opponent, but not think he can do something extra special that you yourself couldn't do.
Right. He's gonna make your entire team fall down.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
He's
He
a
can't
problem's a
use her
mortal
9
man,
guys.
guys. Come on.
He
yeah.
can use her 3 players on
Eh,
one play, but he
but,
can't use her 5.
Problem kind of users and takes away like 13 guys on the field at a time. But it's, I've seen it. Not really, but all great things that I think that people can take away from this, just in general, is confidence. That's what it comes down to. Go into it, and confidence kind of comes from your preparation that you're talking about before, right? I mean, you can't have one or the other. You got to have both of them at the same time. And confidence comes from that preparation, and preparation comes from confidence. So make sure you guys get out there, do your lab work, prepare. You have all this time to get in these games and play your game. Don't get upset. Don't get beat down if you lose a couple games. Get back out on the horse and start winning more games. Our last question for you, Matt. Super simple. I'm going to give you a wicked layup here, kid. All right, wicked layup.
Well,
Layup question of the year. All right.
I feel like little Jimmy. Little Jimmy, you
Yeah,
can do this.
you can do it.
Believe in yourself.
We already asked you the wicked tough questions, guy. How do you enter the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge?
Well, I touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I mean, the first, your entry point is playing on the Draft Champions ranked ladder.
It's that
That's
easy.
it.
It's
like
that easy.
anyone who's played a game has already entered.
Yeah.
Right now, you have to play a lot of games. Dozens, maybe even hundreds at the end of it. We're not sure. I've already seen a lot of committed players. We already have guys with several hundred games on the ladder. But the ladder is based on your quality wins. So again, it's not about just grinding. You want to maintain a good win
I
percentage.
think it's a big difference. So currently, the way the MUT leaderboard is by coins earned. So generally, the more games you play, wins help, but like the more wins you go. But you were saying quality wins there on the Draft Champions ranks leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw out a number here. I mean, someone who's going 50-4 is gonna be better ranked than someone who's 100 and 100.
Right.
Or 50-5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So again, if you played a game in Draft Champions ranked ladder, you've already entered in the contest. If you only played one game, you're probably like in 100,000th place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts with playing games on Draft Champions. We're gonna take the top 64 from each platform and advance them, and then it's gonna be a pretty standard tournament structure after that.
That's great. And Matt had a pretty interesting experience past couple days. Matt went over to the Green Bay Packers Detroit Lions game.
I was there. Yeah.
We were going to use like the bad beat story that you did last week, but just can you talk to us? What was that like?
I had to buy a healthy amount of alcohol at halftime to like just to keep my spirits up. But at the end of it, it was I don't know if I'll ever see a sporting moment as clutch as that.
FYI, spoiler: he's a Packers fan.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, so I mean, well, we kind of got out of order here, but where do you want me to go?
Just
with this?
talk about what was it like being there, like just in general.
Did you
It was
really
like-
think it was a face mask penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually.
Really?
Well, so we were sitting.
He's up high.
We were about the 30 rows back around like the 20-yard line. So we were, when Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball in the last play, we were like slightly behind him. So we got a good view of him scrambling toward us and then launching the ball. And then like I blacked out a little bit, honestly, as it was going down because you're sitting it there and like it has the distance, but it's moving away from you. So it's hard to see at that point. But I mean, early on, it was I gotta be honest, it was a miserable experience. The first like
20-0?
two quarters for sure. I remember looking up at the scoreboard, seeing it 20-0, and I was like, a little backstory. So this is the fourth Packers game I've been to. They lost the previous three.
Two
Two were on the
Bad
road,
luck.
Seattle and 49ers. One was at Lambeau when Rodgers was hurt. So, this is my fourth Packer game. They're in one of the peaks of the franchise, and I haven't seen a win. Right, I'm here at Ford Field. We're down 20-0. I'm like, not again. Am I a curse on my own team? I
You might
can't
be.
believe this.
You might be.
But yeah, so slowly they whittled back, and when that lateral play was happening, I thought this is not going anywhere. This is over. But when I saw the face mask, and you could the biggest thing is Rodgers' head turning, and then looking up at the jumbotron, like you could see like, well, yeah, his hand's there, his face is turning. Again, gave us some life. I didn't know what to expect, but it's you're saying there's a chance. It's like just the fact that there's a chance gives you enough hope, and it was a great ending.
So I need you to dispel or prove
Okay.
some theories that I've heard people in the Madden community talk about. One of the theories is that while in person, there actually was a Y button above Richard Rodgers' head because he just aggressive caught on the entire Detroit Lions defense. Is it true? Was there a Y button on the top of Richard Rogers' head.
No, I think he's got to have like a C or a D button because he pulled off a move that's definitely not in the game. I think we're gonna have to add that. But if you watch the replay, he jumped like. He jumped like a backwards ladder, like a reverse Superman. Yeah, so that was crazy. We're gonna have to add that move in the game. That's all I'm saying.
I like it. So it was pretty interesting. It was a great game.
And
but,
the fact that they did not sub Calvin Johnson free safety,
makes
so
me
for
angry.
the second MUT year in a row, we could get an 85 overall Calvin Johnson free safety, 6'5" with 85 hit power. Crushed my soul.
it was upsetting. So. But
Upsetting to who?
it was upsetting for a lot of people that no Calvin Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Mutt God, what's up?
Who got?
I'm calling him the Mutt God.
Who got?
Hoop God in the house.
What up?
That looked like it hurt.
Yeah. So guys, we want to put a round of applause together. Thank you, Matt, for coming down, Commish.
Before Matt goes, can I impromptu question?
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah.
if you can't answer it, I totally understand, but I know I'm dying to know.
Uh-oh.
I know the community's probably dying to know. Do we have an ETA as to when we can announce all the invitational players?
Ooh.
Even R2
well,
wants to know. You heard that?
Yeah, R2 does want to know.
so I mean, they probably know already. So the 4 guys you saw in the first invitational are advancing. So we're inviting 4 more.
So that's we're inviting Problem, Tweezy, Shugs, and Mo. Serious
yep.
Mo will all be back at the next invitational tournament.
They
Do we-
passed the test.
The dates? Can we give them the dates?
Yeah, it's next Friday. December
Oh,
18th.
next
Wait,
Friday!
is it next Friday?
It's next Friday. You ready?
It's on. So a lot of this information that we're spitballing on,
Yep.
Madden Challenge website, maddenchallenge.com.
Yep.
So everything we're talking about, all the details, tournament rules, you can find them there. I'm not so we have 4 players. We picked them. I think we're just waiting on their travel being confirmed.
Okay.
4 other players.
I'm okay. I'm okay teasing a little bit. We're just saying we're waiting on travel to be.
Well,
kinda
listen.
locked in
I mean,
here, so-
why don't we just all keep it a secret? Okay. Why don't we just do that? Can we just keep it a secret for
Yeah,
now?
I think we can all keep
Keep
it
it
a secret.
We'll keep it a secret.
Maybe on the next
Huh?
MUTcast.
Well,
Maybe
there's some
maybe
young
next
guys.
month,
There could be some young guys that are coming out playing. Young secrets, stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
actually,
it.
my nephew's a really good Madden player
Your,
as well.
your
I-
young nephew's very good.
Yeah.
He's a really raw talent. Like he's really like that. Like a real raw talent, like a past champion talent.
I've
You'd
got
say.
a problem with all these teases, you guys.
You do? Do you? Oh, okay.
I think you're just a fool, man. This is great stuff.
He is a fool. He is a fool. That's crazy. I don't know. So we're gonna keep it a secret. We got some nephews coming in, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So
He
No
picked his own
fools
nephew.
allowed. It's
He
gonna be
picked his
raw.
own- yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So without it, we guys, everyone in the chat. Type 1 if you appreciate Matt coming down. Matt, you can't be able to see it, but just appreciation, Matt.
I can
Just
see
know
it.
there's like 5 ones in there.
Yeah, there's like 2 1s, 5 1s, whatever. But
I'll
anyways,
take all the ones I need.
we're gonna bring back Guru, Matt. Thank you, the commish,
Yeah.
for coming back. Will you please grace us again? Come back.
Oh,
We'll
and
talk the challenge again.
Anytime, guys.
And follow this guy on
Oh,
Twitter.
right.
He drops knowledge.
Where, Matt? Tell the people where they can find you.
I make it simple. It's my name.
Yep.
At Matt Marcou. My last name's a little bit odd to spell. MARCOU. But at Matt Marcou. Say hi. I tend to say hi back.
All right, there
Be
it
nice.
is.
Please be nice.
Please be nice.
Did you see the picture of Aaron Rodgers' arm when he released the ball? Have you seen that?
I have not seen that. No.
It's like it's like a mortar. It's on Twitter. Like he just threw it directly in the air. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was so high the cameras couldn't pick it up anymore. Like if that was any other stadium, I think it would have hit the roof. If with that's enclosed, obviously. Luckily, it's not outdoors. If there was a bird, that could have been a. Imagine that it hits a bird and it bounces off
Could've
to
been
Richard
dangerous,
Rodgers. Like
So, all right, boys. Matt, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it as always.
Yeah.
Hope to have you on again. Matt's
Be
got to
back.
go back upstairs, do some real work now as we talk about MUT items. I
Yep.
don't know. So,
Sounds
Guru,
Thanks, Matt.
Guru, step back into the Oval Office.
Thank you, sir.
It's not really an Oval Office, but
He's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Matt's the man.
We're lucky to have Matt.
we are. We are very lucky to have Matt and the hard work that he's doing. So, guys, go give him some Twitter love. Give him a follow on Twitter at Matt_Marcou or just at Matt Marcou. I don't know, one of the two. We'll get you the link later. But let's get into these rest of these Team of the Week players before the top of the hour. The next on our list here, Patrick Peterson. This is the Team of the Week hero, 93 overall CB, Patrick Peterson. He's going for $570K on Xbox One, $600,000 on PS4, 95 speed, 96 man coverage, 92 zone coverage, 95 press, and 88 spectacular catch. If I quickly go back to the first player that we discussed earlier today, if I just keep changing the screen, it's hard to tell who is who here. This Pat Pete is a beast, and he's about half the price as that.
This is the
more
guy
or
you
less.
wanted to talk about
Yes.
earlier in the show, right? When we were talking about cornerback Woodson and that guy we were going to talk about later in the show that is much, much less, but yet the stats are looking much a mirror.
Yep.
Much a mirror.
So he's an absolute stud. Zfarls, what do you see here just off the bat when you start thinking about price and his ratings, his raw ratings compared to Woodson?
So you don't get you get 5 less play rec. Obviously, you can't pay an extra 1,000,000 coins for 5 play rec and 1 Excel. So you do get the value out of the Peterson. The press is, if you search for players that have 95 speed, 95 man, and 95 press, there's a list of like 6 guys, and Peterson is the lowest on the list, meaning he's going to be the least expensive. So if you value that press, you go get yourself a Peterson. And for some reason, people keep tweeting me saying, should I sell my Rondé Barber for Pat Pete? No, they're not like compatible players. Rondé Barber is a zone defender.
94 man, but still
98 zone.
Short.
And low agility on the Barber. Peterson's a man defense guy. Barber's a zone defense guy, so don't do
Guru?
that.
Let's scroll down and take a look at Carey here real quick.
So Guru wants to take a look at his carry. In the chat, we have Zan giving his stamp of approval right now, saying that this Pat Pete is a bad man.
Right.
So Guru, what are your thoughts on this Patrick Peterson?
Well, I just want to take a look at his carry. I didn't see it yesterday. It's just the fact that he's going to play a double duty for you back at return man.
Okay, love it.
He's going to give you another positional option for your money out there as well.
Right.
So I just wanted to see here. It's got to be. It's got to
got
be
very
up
high
there,
elusive.
right?
Well, the key there is 96 juke move, so he's going to be a stud
Right.
at
Ball
kick
carrier
return.
vision. Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah. So as
There we
we
go.
see the ratings here for this Patrick Peterson Team of the Week hero, Guru likes
Spin
the
move,
carry.
juke move. He's bringing those other things to the table for you if he's going to be returning kicks for you.
All right, RG, thoughts on this Pat Pete?
69 carry.
It's nasty. I mean, that 95 speed with the 96 man and, 96 press or 95 press?
Yeah.
Stud. Stud worthy.
Stud. I mean, you need, like I said, that Amari Cooper's all over the place. Like, this is a perfect item to kind of counteract that. So.
Compared to the draft champs Pat Pete,
What are some of his stats, though? Tell the people. It's 93 speed.
so draft champs Pat Pete, he's 2 speed slower. You don't get the Excel, only 91. You still get 93 press, 94 man, down to 85 play rec. So he gets +2 play rec on his new item. He's going to be 150K or so. That's going to drop this item. So if you're still ramping your way up, now this Peterson's going to become more affordable if you can't quite go after the 93 yet.
Yeah, I'm going to say for the price that you're going to get this Peterson, this is about right, about what you should be paying for one of the best corners in the game. He gives you everything, and you're not paying the Woodson price. The Woodson price is just too much. It's outrageous. This Pat Pete is about right. Stamp of approval from me. Zfarls, stamp of approval.
Yes.
Guru,
Absolutely. Yep.
RG.
Absolutely.
That's a consensus right there. This is a guy you go out and target right now. The 93 overall Team of the Week hero, Patrick Peterson.
And
going
he is the
for-
collectible one.
Yeah, that's correct. He's not the limited time.
Right.
We're about to talk about the limited time item here coming right up.
Yes.
Good lead in. Pro lead in.
Big, too. Like, he's
6'1".
like, 6'1", and what's
Yep.
the Woodson? Is the Woodson, like...
What's his 6 feet?
6 feet.
6 feet.
The
So you
height
get an
matters.
extra inch. People say height doesn't matter, but there's definitely situations where height does matter in this game. So just keep that in mind.
You heard it first. Height matters right there. So next on our list, again, a guy that knows a little thing or two about height. We have our limited edition or limited time only, Brandon Marshall, 93 overall wide receiver,
Shout out to the Giants.
92 speed. Something really, really concerning for me here about this Marshall. 81 agility, 99 catch and traffic, 94 spectacular catch, 92 route running.
So I have a question for RG.
I literally had to look multiple times when I saw this because I was like, is that right? Is
81.
Brandon Marshall here again, 81 agility on this Marshall.
This card is nasty. My only question for RG, his route running's what, 91, 92?
Route
Yep.
running, 92 route
Yep.
running.
Does 92 route running, is the 81 agility going to have any effect on the 92 route running or
Or the
not
release
really?
at all?
Like, is he going to get cuts? Is he going to cut slower because he doesn't have the agility?
No. I believe agility's that doesn't really factor into the separation when running your route. That's more of when you have the ball trying to make cuts.
Left stick cut.
Type of deal.
So,
It also factors into some other things as well. I don't know all of it off the top of my head, but I believe route running isn't one of them.
okay. That was important for me because other than the agility, this Marshall is one of the only 3 receivers in the game right now, I think. Signature Andre Johnson and throwback Kelvin Benjamin, 99 catching traffic. So only 2 guys with that. He's a little bit better than Calvin Team of the Week. Good spec. Huge strength on this card. Great run block. Him, Hines, Ward, the 2 best run blockers in the game. Ward's going to be a little better but more expensive. But this guy, he still has 92 speed and good excel. The only spot they got him was the agility. But his ability to run block plus have that spec and catching traffic combo is going to make him right up there with the Benjamin. But the Benjamin's much, much slower.
Right. I have major concerns about the 81 agility, though. Guru, any thoughts on that?
Well, that agility is. I'm not using him to be able to want that agility. I'm putting him in the slot. I'm going to dabble this upcoming week with my Marshall Faulk and Brandon Marshall in the slot because of that catch and traffic.
It's
because
called
of
the
that
Marshall
road.
plan.
That's right, the Marshall plan. Thank you. I needed a title. And run those guys over the middle. Do drags. Do meshes. And see how they work. Maybe even a streak down the slot last minute to utilize.
Why does the agility concern you?
Because I like to get a guy open in the open field and then make people miss. And that's big for the way I play my offense is like catch a ball and you got to make a couple people miss with racks. I throw a lot underneath drags. I need the agility to catch it and quickly cut up field. So there's some concerns for me with this Marshall. I'm not saying that he's not a great guy to throw downfield with his 99 catch and traffic. He's got good spectacular catch, good height, good speed for a guy that has this blend. But for me, in my scheme, Marshall is a no. What do you guys think about the price? Is this price about right for what you should be thinking here for Marshall?
Well, like I said, this is a very situation. This is a possession catch guy for me. Okay, so I'm going to look for somebody that has a little bit better mix of stats, doesn't have a glaring weakness. I like to have a nice balance on my receivers because there are so many options out there. So this is a guy that, that if you strike him in a pack, you're going to find some good value. Also, if you're lacking at the slot position, I'd definitely recommend you giving him a try there.
RG, what are your thoughts on this Marshall?
I think it's nasty. One thing, I don't really condone this, but I know people do it. I believe in MUT you can put receivers at tight end.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
With his run blocking and his size and his route running, seems like he'd be a really
74 run block,
80 strength.
I could definitely put him at tight end, especially when you run those dual tight end sets. You got 91 speed running a drag. If you like to put your tight end on a drag, put him on a slant corner. He'd be a pro. That's a insane mismatch to try to stop right there. So if I had to think of the best way to get efficiency out of this item, I think that's the route.
I like it. RG,
Yep. Good call.
potentially using him at tight end in MUT. So that's a good recommendation.
Until I try the 8-1 agility, I can't. That's like the holding point on me. But you do get the run block and the strength, and then you do have 99 catch and traffic, which is remarkable. He's going to be less, I think, than the Andre Johnson and the Kelvin, and he's going to be faster, which should help out.
All right, 2 more guys on our list, and we'll get into our questions and then the Bad Beat story of the week. Next on our list here is our man, quarterback, 88 overall, Jaguars, Blake Bortles.
I like Bortles.
46,000 points on both systems, 80 speed, 94 throw power, 92 throw accuracy short, 89 throw accuracy medium, and 84 throw accuracy deep.
First things first, this is a message to the community. Jaguar fans, slow your roll.
No doubt.
Mateo,
What?
you're leading these guys.
What?
Chill them
Jaguar
all out.
fans, why didn't this guy get an item? Why didn't that guy get an item? Why didn't this guy get an item?
Heated
The
yesterday.
Jaguars, Schefter already has an item. When the 93 Jaguar receiver came out, everyone's like, this is an amazing item. Julius Thomas got an item last week.
The veteran.
You gotta-
the veteran.
You guys are the Jaguars.
You got
You're
a
like
really big time
3
concern here.
So
and
many.
something.
They were loud. They were
Stop
loud.
tweeting my boy.
Thank you, sir.
So we take a look at his stats here. I'm just quickly going to say no, because I see 46,000 coins. I look at those stats. And I'm like, I know I can go get a Tyrod Taylor. I know I can get 85 Mariota. I know I can get an 88 Mariota. A little bit more
Yep.
than this.
Yep.
I'm just immediately saying no on
He's a
this
no.
Bortles. And it's no knock to him. If he had 90 throw accuracy deep, I'd be like, yeah. Try him.
So
Try him.
if you look at 88 Mariota, he might be a few more coins. He's better in every single category except play action. He's got better throw on the run, better deep, same throw power. 90 speed instead of 80 speed. Bortles, he's not a scrambler, but 80 speed's good to get you out of some situations. If you want to use a Bortles, that's cool. He's a good item. But Derek Carr's right up there with him.
Guru?
He's just breaking into that bottom tier of pretty good budget quarterbacks, right? His price is going to go down.
It's gonna go down.
Right now, he's the key to that set. To go get yourself the Pat Pete. So his price is going to be up there for a couple weeks. But
Good insight.
Definitely going to be one of those guys that is just starting into that conversation of Team of the Week, Mariota.
RG?
Just breaking it.
RG?
I think if you're a Jaguars fan,
You're stoked, right?
yeah, you now have a quarterback.
This
you
is
can
your
use.
second Bortles.
No,
if
Peter
you're a Jaguars
Jaguars.
fan.
Go watch
Seriously.
Slump Stream and
Yes,
go check out
seriously.
Blake Bortles under center.
I'm on my team. I play with Tom Brady, but I also have Randall Cunningham. I know I'm more efficient with Cunningham, but I'm a Pats fan, so I play with Brady.
Right.
It makes me feel good. So
Yep.
and then so I think in MUT for Jaguars fans, go out. You got someone that's very usable. But I said this on last time I was on here. He strikes me as someone that would be really efficient in a mode like draft champions if he comes on your.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
He's
call,
got
man.
value in draft
Yeah,
champions.
no
I would say he's
doubt.
good.
I know.
Currently
I know.
available
I was
at
kind
points.
I'm kind of nervous that I just put the Jags fans on blast.
Yeah,
But
wait till you log into your Twitter.
I
You
know. I
are
can't wait to see
done.
all four of them just like.
You and me
Oh.
are gonna be tagged. Oh,
From the peanut gallery back there, we got eSports.
I heard the-
AJ even laughed at that. AJ, are you playing a game right now?
I was laughing.
AJ, no,
because, I was laughing because I literally was about to make that same joke.
AJ, are you playing a game right now with the Jaguars? He's playing a game with the Jaguars. Literally with the Jaguars. Yeah, yeah.
He always plays with the Jags.
He loves the Jags. All right, our next and last item of the week we're going to talk about until next week, guys. We have free safety Malcolm Jenkins. This card is an immediate no for me.
you seem
50,000
passionate about
Xbox
that.
One, 56K on PS4, 90 speed, 90 zone, 76 man, 84 press, 80 power. And I'm not just saying no because I'm a Patriots fan and the Eagles beat the Patriots.
Was he the guy with the pick six?
Yes, but I just don't
For 100
know.
yards,
I
was
just
it?
don't know what this guy does. What do you do?
I tell you what he doesn't do, Gibbs. He
What?
does not tackle. For some reason, his tackle is not good.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he. I don't know, but 94 Excel is pretty good.
No, he's got 84 press, 90 zone coverage.
Yeah.
Can you not see?
No, I think he has.
Can't say. No, he's already admitted.
Okay, so he might have
He
this
signed a
job. Okay.
disclaimer before the show.
When I first saw him, he's 6 feet tall. He's got 90 speed with the 90 zone. That's like pretty decent, but there's so many free safeties.
Too many.
The haha. There's like 17 ha-has. Clinton from the Packers. He's very
No
good.
joke.
Go get yourself Glover Quinn. If you're gonna pay 50, just go pay 80, or just do your
For,
journey solo.
for this guy
Or do
right
your
here,
style solos.
he plays. He's like a hybrid for safety. He can play some man. He can play, how many times do we hear it in the game? Oh, he was a man covered corner and came drafted in the league. So yes, you get a little bit of everything with him, and that's exactly why I'm out. He doesn't do one thing exceptionally well.
No
he's
pop
well
in his
rounded,
bat.
and he's not even that well rounded. Like if he had like 85 man coverage, I'd say he's better.
Yep.
Maybe go get the Honey Badger because the Honey Badger gives you a little bit more man coverage. Guru RG thoughts on this Jenkins
No,
for
no,
50K?
I mean, that man coverage is what I'm looking at. Immediately pops out at me. I bring my safeties down, man coverage to help on those outside receivers. Is that going to be a liability when I'm coming down to try and double team some of those bigger outside receivers?
What's his man? 70?
76 man.
Yeah, if you're playing man with your safety,
Yikes.
you got to be careful with
Buy
him.
the McCourty if you're gonna
Especially
do
if he
that.
matches up on one of those insane tight ends. I see a lot of people running like that Tony G.
Oh,
out
that
there.
Tony
It's
G
like,
is disgusting.
You can't. He's not gonna have a chance. When I look at him, one thing that I feel like he's usable, and the reason I say he's usable is the three most important stats for me. For a safety,
Yep.
he has the bare minimum at which I say is usable. Speed, 90. I like
Yep,
to have
okay.
90 plus
Yep,
speed.
yep.
Zone, 90. I like to have 90 plus zone. And hit power, 80. I like to have 80
Okay.
plus zone. So he's the bare minimum of what I like is what I consider like usable if I'm trying to compete on a high level.
Yep.
But ideally you'd be jacked up and above the bare minimum, but it's usable because, based off of those ratings. And
If he
opinion.
drops from 50K, if he goes to like 10K, 5K,
Yeah.
I'll say yes. start
65
him.
tackle.
Yep.
the 82 play rec just kind of puts you in no man's land at this stage of the game. Get the Quinn, or at first glance I liked him, but then I was like, there's just too many safeties.
Hey, you pull him, you're stoked. One more step towards Patrick Peterson. That's all I know.
All right, guys. So that's going to do it for our item reviews for the week. Next week we'll be back, obviously, to review the items. But we also have community questions that we took from guys on Twitter. They used the hashtag MUTcast. We pulled those directly from Twitter to answer these questions. First question of the day comes from Pim Van Den Bosch. That's literally his Twitter handle. So his question is, I can't decide what strong safety to pick up. I have around 150K. I love the base elite 90 Kam Chancellor, but his item doesn't seem great. Quick number crunch on that Kam Chancellor: 86 speed, 96 power, 84 zone coverage, and he's going for about 100K. He has 150 to spend. Can we give him any recommendations? My recommendation, first, and I'll let you guys go, is Calvin Pryor. Calvin Pryor is going for about 20,000 coins. That's I think the road to the playoffs one, right?
Yep.
And he's 88 speed, 84 zone, and 98 hit power. So he gives you exactly what those raw talent ratings are for that Kam Chancellor, but he's about 80,000 coins left. Do you guys have anything else to recommend for this position here?
If you have that much, you could get the Roy Williams if you want to use her. He's got good hit power.
That's
He's
where I
pretty
was going.
You could also get the Quinn, just play him at strong safety.
There you go. Next question is coming in from 8up Axeman. He has the question, the top 5 defensive ends that can play every single down. Now, I obviously have the actual real list, the top 5 guys that can fit that. And the mold I did there was 90 block shed, 90 strength, and 90 power or finesse move. And here's the 5 guys. There's only 5 guys in the game that actually fit that mold. It's either one of the J.J. Watts, Jarrell Casey, which you love, either one of the Muhammad Wilkersons, Cameron Hayward, and Leonard Williams, Team of the Week, limited time only.
One for my week 2?
Like week 2.
Yeah, I run that.
So those are the only guys.
Really good. Absolutely.
Now,
There's a new Shelby that just came out, Team of the Week. He's very, very close.
any recommendations from you guys on the end? Do you maybe drop a linebacker there that could fit? Who are the guys that you
This is
recommend?
one of those positions I'm always saving and scrimping to go get that J.J. Watt. I just got to have him there. His stats are so mixed, so balanced, and then he's got the secret one sitting down deep. He's one of those guys that I'm going to go out and spend a little extra coin on because it's just there's no more liabilities.
RG, in particular, anybody on your mind that comes to mind here for this position?
I don't want to lie to them, so I'll tell them an item that I actually use that's really good. It's not an end, but what is it, Flashback Brian Arakpo?
Oh, yeah.
Nasty.
That item is like insane. I think he meets those criteria, as you said, with like the 90 strength, the 90 block shed, with the like 97 power move or something.
New Kerrigan,
that's a really
the new
good
Ryan Kerrigan, is going to be similar to that Arakpo. He's got 98 power move. You could go there.
Naturally, both right outside and left outside linebacker to bump
Yeah.
those up at the end.
And you're going to pay a little bit extra if you want an every down player because you need to get to those thresholds. But there are definitely some pretty good options at this stage of the game.
Is that the one on your list? I run that item as well.
Leonard Williams?
Leonard Williams
Yep.
from the Jets, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
all beast.
I remember just like pulling it out of a pack, and I'm just like,
Stud.
just like looking at him, like, oh my gosh, like this guy could start, and I've been playing him, and he does work.
He's a great player.
I
I
don't
think
know how much it costs, but it seems he's not like super famous, so he might be a good
rookie.
one.
So our next question comes from CLC Clashes. He says, what is the single best wide receiver and quarterback duo for under 450K? I did my research, I did my homework, and I'm going with the 88 Mariota, which is going to be right around that like 60 range. And then I'm going to bring in Most Feared Dez, who is about 350. That's going to bring you into like a little lower than 450. I'm going to say go get those two. Also, a good recommendation is if you start with Donovan McNabb, legend. He's about 225K. Then there's a ton of guys you can go after. Maybe get a Larry Fitz, BCA, who's about 200, 220. So those would be my 2 recommendations to go out and get. Mariota is going to give that speed and that mobility. Recommendations, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Mariota and the Fitz are going to be a great combination for you. You're going to be able to move that Fitz around any way you want to. You can use him on the outside. You can use him in the slot. Mariota is very dependable for your throw deep for some agility. And you might even come in under for the 450K with those two guys.
Zfarls?
Kind of a weird question, like having to get the combo. because you could spend a lot of different ways, and then there's a lot of different things you could want to do
Depending on your
with that,
scheme, right,
with that
and
coin
Well,
and scheme-wise.
Someone in the chat said get Mariota. That's actually Jonathan Bake. He said Mariota and 91 Cooper. That's going to leave you with like
That's what I'm saying. It's like
380K.
the Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
that's
doubt.
the Cooper. That's what I'm saying. You have such a large amount of coins to spend. My favorite current receiver, the 93 Jordy Nelson.
Nasty.
Just kind of because he
Throwback?
got a little bit of everything.
MVP
Throwback.
or is it throwback?
MVP throwback.
I like what he brings to the table, and then you could spend and get the McNabb, and just that might get you right around that floor.
I feel like the Mariota. I
50.
think the Mariota is going to play it just as well as the McNabb. But like you go out and get the McNabb, and you feel better because it's like this is a power purchase. You're like, yeah, that's McNabb. So you might feel a little worse when McNabb maybe makes some bad throws
Lets you
or every
down.
night.
It's like
You
when
get
I
the
go
Mariota,
to
you're like, oh,
it's
it's
like
okay.
when I go to Miller Ale House.
Yeah.
I'm like, just charge me more. I don't want to pay $8 for a burger. I'd rather pay $12. I feel better about it.
Right. And you heard it first right there. Farls, not a big fan of Miller Ale House. Our last
Well,
question.
I like it, but charge me more money so I feel like your food's real.
At Madden Bible, in case you need to hit him up.
Yeah.
Jags fans, too.
Last question comes from Mutt Love 2. It's an interesting name.
Mutt Love as well,
Mutt
or
Love 2. No, just Mutt Love the number 2.
Number 2.
On Twitter. Go give him a follow, guys.
Did
He
you
said
say funky mutt loving?
no. Oh. Ah.
What was that from?
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the Year. What
Guy had a
what
mean
movie.
heater. Guy had a mean heater.
I feel like our generation had like the best kids sports
Oh, yeah.
movies.
We had
like
great
Little
movies.
Giants,
Rowan
Sandlot,
Gardner.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Little Giants, very good.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
I saw a lady wearing
Sandlot.
a
What's
Sandlot
What's the one where he
shirt
owns
at
the twins?
University
The
the
dude
other
owns
night.
the twins.
I wanted to be like, I
came
love
out
your
like
shirt,
on
but then I'm
Rookie of
like,
the
that's a
Year.
stranger. Don't talk
I
to
forget
her.
the name
I know
of that
when
one.
you're
That
talking
one was
about.
good.
Angels in the
The
outfield.
big
That
green
was
angels.
Angels in the outfield?
Those were bringing heat.
Oh!
man.
Dude,
Little
I'm
kid
telling
movie.
you.
I don't know if
Dude,
sports
the
movies
Mighty
are
Ducks!
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks!
Even
Sports
forget about
movies
the
lost
Ducks.
on this generation.
Dude, we were bringing
Telling
heat
you.
back then. Whoever
Oh,
those
my
writers
God.
were, dude.
Did you guys already mention Little
God, there
Oh,
was
yeah.
good movies. I think
The
Mighty
annexation
Ducks.
of Puerto Rico.
Mighty Ducks
Oh my
may be
God.
one of the best like series of movies of all time.
Yeah.
Like, is it one of the best?
Kind of
Emilio!
starts out dark, but like really finds its way.
It's really good.
Gordon Bombay drives his limo on the ice. What an idiot.
Dude,
That's
that
a
was-
hard-o move, man.
Still don't
They put
believe
the kids at
Trinidad and
risk.
Tobago
He was
has
such a
hockey.
hard-o in the beginning of that movie. Like, he thought he
He
didn't
really
stink.
matured though. Those kids really found the way to his heart.
They did.
Thank you very much.
How
Mr.
tough
Ducksworth.
was the knuckle puck?
Knuckle
99.
puck for
99
Russ, that
tough.
was
That's
nasty.
99
that's
toughness.
Mighty Ducks 2 though.
I'll tell you what. In the third one, which a lot of people didn't see, I almost shed a tear when they're getting their ass handed to them by the varsity team, and the dudes are bigger and tougher. And then in between periods, like one of the Bash brothers comes in with like his diploma, like I'm here, and everyone, dude, I lost
Big
it
moment.
as a kid.
Big
I
moment.
lost it.
Quack. Quack.
Portman,
Quack.
Fulton
Quack.
Reed, what
Yeah.
a combo.
Air Bud?
Oh,
Bud,
my
oh my
God.
God.
That movie will make you cry.
Telling you what.
Worse than Marley and Me.
Space Jam? Did we
Space
did we say
Jam!
Space Jam?
Space
I mean,
Jam?
come
Oh my
on, bro.
God.
I
Freaking
actually
kidding me.
recommended that we play Space Jam Spotify the other day in the car, and
that
someone
a
was like,
call?
"What is this?" And I'm like,
That was the no.
Space Jam is
with
the
someone in the
GOAT.
car. You mean to say with me in the car, and that was terrible.
"Everybody get up."
It was
it's
so
time to
bad.
slam now."
It was like a 7-minute song.
That wasn't the one.
Why
from
was
the
it so
movie.
long? It was
That was like
terrible.
the remix.
All right, back to the topic here, guys. Spoilers. Everyone in the chat's upset with spoilers. By the
job.
way, I have a
Okay,
major beef about spoilers with this guy. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so we're hanging out this past weekend. Blah blah blah. I just casually go, yeah, you know, Darth Vader dies in Star Wars, and
Wait,
Farls goes, spoiler! Spoiler! Bro,
I
it's
haven't
been
seen-
out for 38
I haven't
years!
seen it yet.
That is not a spoiler!
All right, first of all,
It's not a spoiler.
all you Star Wars clowns, December 18th, you're like, yo, we gotta get together and watch 1
Yes.
through 6 so
Right.
that we're prepared
Fact.
for launch night.
Yeah.
At Madden Bible. He said Star
Yeah,
And
Wars.
you
we
guys
thought
are
the
like, yo,
Jaguars
At
fans
Madden
were
Bible.
bad, dude. Don't
You're like-
be
Dude, I mean,
careful.
the
rubbing
Star
them with
Wars
the
guys
Star
are gonna
Wars
come out of the
He's like, yo, Forrest, you should
China,
jump
he's
in
gonna
on this.
log
I'm like,
in.
you just told me
Plus
Darth
20
Vader died. I'm not gonna watch 12 hours of movies where I already know the ending.
You don't know ending.
So little.
It's- yeah.
of the
He
big-
dies.
The big
You
story.
think I want to watch 3 movies about treaties, bro? I don't. How about that?
Treaties?
Treaties.
Treaties,
Is that-
trade federations.
You've never even
blah,
seen it, so
blah,
how are you
blah.
supposed to know?
We got
You go on
captured.
Wikipedia. You go on
We got
Wikipedia and type it
captured.
up.
You want me to give you a recap of Star Wars if
Yes.
you've never seen it?
You've never seen it. Yeah,
All right.
please.
Do you want me to start with 4, 5, 6 or 1, 2,
4, 5,
3?
6, 1, 2, 3. The chrono order.
4, 5, 6. Little baby guy in my aunt's house. We got captured. We got captured. Pew pew pew. Captured. Pew pew pew.
really
I kissed
never
my
seen it.
sister.
Never seen it.
Hand
Never
chopped
seen
off.
it.
He's never
stuck
seen
in
it,
the
and
trash
he's this much of
We
a
cannot
hater.
be
Captured.
You know the
can't be
chat.
Pushed off a
anymore.
thing. Magically got my hand grow back. Then we start at 1. I'm jar 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 jar. Pod race. Pew pew pew. Samuel Jackson. Trade alliance. Trade alliance. Trade alliance. Trade
You know
alliance.
this much about it, you've never seen it.
Darth Maul, kind of sick. Probably a lightsaber battle. CGI. Trade Federation. Pew, pew, pew.
You didn't say anything about Anakin Skywalker.
Forgot.
Trade Federation.
Done.
And now
Now
it's
they're
done.
gonna sell us
You
the
didn't
7th
even
movie.
get to the
Charles,
part
I
where Darth Vader
officially hate
dies.
you with all my heart. I mean,
Now they're gonna sell us the
that's
7th
what's- the
movie,
chat
and we're all gonna go
officially hates
stand
you.
in line like a bunch of sheep.
Great. Now look at all.
Can we
look
get
at
to the
all
last
Star
question?
Wars.
Can we get to the last question?
Unbelievable.
Can we get to the last question?
Please.
Again,
I'm gonna
from
unfollow
at
Zfarls
from
after
at
I
Mutt
unfollow
Love
Zfarls.
2. That I don't know how we got into this because of Matt Love 2. Mutt Love 2. His question:
This is all your fault. Mutt Love too.
Who should I be looking for in a player to fit a 46 scheme?
P.S. Han shot first. Okay.
Dude, Salt Life. You got a Salt Life shirt? You want to put it on?
What was the question?
Who is a player that Mutt Love 2 should be looking for a player that fit in a 46 scheme?
My quick kick 4-6-4. That's where I move JJ over into the middle, and then I get a big body in there in the middle with him to take up some space, and then use some speed on the outside. Guys like Jason Taylor.
Real quick, they saw Kenny over the top of the wall. Someone goes, look at the guy over the wall at the back. Ken! Yeah!
Shout out to Ken.
Shout out to Ken. The real deal. So, RG, 46 scheme. I'm thinking immediately 46 normal. There's 46 bear under and stuff. But 46 normal. What are the prototype players you're looking for in this scheme?
Every time I've run 4-6, it's kind of what Mike said. Versatile player, 2 versatile players in the middle. Like that means someone with some speed, block shed strength, can pass rush, a JJ Watt type of guy. Just that you want the speed just in case you need to put one of those guys in a spy. And then on the outside, it's pass rushers that I also like ones that have zone coverage because when I run 4-6, I like to drop the ends into bud zones and things like that in nature. So speed, pass rush moves and zone on the outside, block shed strength, speed and pass rush moves on the inside.
Boom.
Zfarls.
You got to get a night train because you need that zone coverage if he's dropping into a deep third. People, when they see 46 and 46 bear, they're going to try and truck it deep. You're going to be playing 46. The other thing about the bear is you're weaker to the left side of the screen. So you want a stud block shed strength guy on the left side of the screen so that if they run over there, he's going to be the guy competing in the run battle. Obviously, the 46 gets its name from the number of the player, the strong safety that they would drop. The Bears would drop down. So you want to get a really good strong safety as well.
RG?
I was just going to say, you also, one thing, you need a goon middle linebacker. That's usually who you end up controlling.
Yeah.
Right.
In 4-6, so you definitely need
Anthony
a
Barr.
Yeah.
Oh,
You need someone
Have we
goon in the
talked
middle,
about
for
Anthony
sure.
Barr yet?
We have.
it's
We
good enough to
should
talk about
reserve
again.
to talk about him next week. Go into like budget players. Maybe we do that next week. But one thing I'll note there, and that kind of goes along with what RG said. I would typically in the 46, I use the free safety over the middle because he's the one lone defender in the middle of the field. You absolutely need a stud user player there. Obviously, we said Anthony Barr, that's a linebacker, but you need a guy that has a lot of speed. If you can get hit power, that's a plus. Like last year, it would have been free safety, freeze Calvin Johnson or golden ticket Calvin Johnson. But you need a stud free safety or stud mid linebacker to really make this scheme work. So look for speed and height to make some big user plays. That's our last question.
Cool.
We now have the bad beat story of the week coming up from Hammer UK 21. His bad beat story of the week. This is how you know it's bad because it starts off like this. I was playing CFM and I had the Seahawks pre-Legion of Boom in Madden 12. So that's how you know it's bad. Madden 12, he remembers it. I was playing a division game against the Rams, down 17-3 with 1 minute remaining, no timeouts. My opponent was inside my 5 and running the ball. He fumbled and my linebacker returned it 99 yards for the touchdown. I then kicked the ball off to him, and for some reason, first play, he passed the ball and got a pick 6. The game is now tied, and we head into overtime. In overtime, he managed to drive inside my 40. I get a sack on third down in overtime to knock him out of field goal range, or so I thought. until out of nowhere he nailed a 62-yard field goal, clipping the bar as it went over to win the game. This was before each side got a possession in overtime. So he lost by a 62-yard field goal when he was down 14
Stinks
in
when
the
you
game.
fight back and then still lose.
That's where it's a bad beat. He's like he had all those emotions like I'm gonna win this game. 62-yard field goal for the loss.
2012, is that Legatron yet? Is that Legatron for the Rams?
It's tough.
Man, you gotta
Zfarls
watch out.
or
It used to be
Yeah,
much
Greg
easier to kick
Zfarls.
really long field goals.
It was, yeah.
And then they did some work on that.
Guys, as a reminder, each week send your questions in to us using a hashtag MUTcast. You can send the emails over to us or just use MUTcast for your bad beat stories of the
Was
week.
Donut Stories good?
What's a donut story?
That guy Donut sent in.
He did. I'm going to use that next week.
All
I'm
right.
going to use the
There
story
you
that
go.
week.
We got
yeah.
good stories.
We got some good
So send
stories.
them in.
So keep sending them in. Guys, follow the channel here. We're still working on getting it on iTunes, having some issues with its upload. So once we figure that out, it will be up on iTunes. But it's also on YouTube. It's also going to be on a blog. You can find it on our social channels if you're not watching it live or if you want to watch the archive. Zfarls, thanks for coming on. Guru, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
RG, thanks for coming
RG,
on.
good to have you
AJ
back,
in the
man.
back, thanks
Thanks,
for
man.
coming on.
Jay hanging out.
Shout out to Matt Marcou for coming on. Guys, coming up after this stream, Ha Shugs is going to continue streaming on the part of the EA Sports stream team on this channel, so make sure you stay here, check them out. Zfarls, where can people find you?
Twitter is actually at Madden Bible. Hit me up there. We'll also be streaming later today.
Not in fact at Zfarls.
on
Oh, yeah. I gotta get that changed.
twitch.tv/Madden Tips. You can follow us there. If you head over to YouTube as well, we hit up the big items, but I've done a review on Dorial Green Beckham, receiver, 6'5", 91 speed. What? Some other good Team of the Week items on youtube.com/Zfarls. Review is up over there of all Team of the Week items from Week 13.
Nice, good stuff. You can find me at MUTGuru, at EA Sports _MUT, on the NBA Live channel, on the Madden Mobile channel. Just a big shout out to all the communities out there. Always looking out for you guys. We appreciate any shares you can give us to keep this going.
RG, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter now.
Oh, look out.
Finally, what is it? At RG_Madden.
There you go.
Guys, you can find me Twitter at sgibbs7. This will do it for the third MUTcast. Marshall. Guys, next Friday is the big event. We will be at the Burbank Studios for the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge, our second invitational that's going to actually now decide something. We have our commentating crew here. Guru will be there live and in person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he'll be there. He's going to
Go, baby.
He's going to be there. He's going to be live tweeting the event, taking pictures,
That's
taking
We gotta do a
screens, interviews.
MUTcast from there.
Oh, we're doing
what
a MUTcast.
ideas?
Oh,
We're
we're
gonna do a
gonna-
MUTcast.
we should do a MUTcast.
We gotta do a MUTcast
Oh,
from
no
Burbank.
shit.
Everything in the chat,
Announced
type
right
one if you want us
now.
to do a MUTcast.
If you want a
in Burbank.
MUTcast in Burbank, type 1 right now
We
in
could get
that
some
chat.
players on it too. Maybe.
We could get some players on it.
Oh, nice. I
We could
like
maybe
this.
we could do a special 2 MUTcasts in 1 week. Do it on like Thursday, if we have time or something. Like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
Cool, good stuff.
guys, we really appreciate you guys. Really, we have a lot of fun doing this. And if you guys didn't come and show up and watch,
It would just be weird.
It'd be really weird. So we really appreciate you guys tuning in every single week, supporting the stream. Send your questions in again using hashtag MUTcast, and we will see you guys next week for the next show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We love you guys. Peace.